So in the last video we covered the introduction part of the arc part. Now let's continue to the next level. So now we are giving a new keys. The one is this one is plus plus and this one is minus minus. So let's read the instruction to the keys. It said adds one to input. So if I do input plus plus, that means when I do input and I click on this key, plus plus is going to add plus plus to our program. Um, that means it's going to add one to it. Adds one to input. Input plus plus is going to be like, let's say 2 plus plus is going to be 3. So wow, it's a fantastic one. Instead of us doing input plus 1, it's going to just be input plus plus. Let's continue. Infiltrating system, injecting input, blah blah. You can skip, click to skip. So we have new keys available. We have another new key, equals equals, not equal, greater than, less than. So we are already having our mathematical keys given to us now, aside from input and aside from plus and minus. So we are having this numerical algebra keys. So this one, true if input is less than 0. So input less than 0 is going to return, well, is going to return a boolean. A boolean is either true or false. So let's say we have 3 here as our input. Less than 0 is 3, less than 0 is false. Is minus 1 less than 0, it is true. So wherever is less than 0, by using this key, this particular less than key, is going to give us a boolean. So now we have this algebra keys. It's amazing. So let's continue. So now this is a pattern detected. We have our input, then our output. Input, output, input, output. So the title is positive. Always, if you look at the title will give you the hint of what the program should do. So always look at the title. So we have in as 3 and our output should be true. I don't understand. So let's look at the second one, the second pattern. If they give us 7, our output should be false. If we are given 9, our output should be true. So what are they saying here? So write a program that when you are given 3, it will return true. When you are given minus 7, it will return true. When you are given 9, it will return true. So it's a boolean. So anything less than, you see 3 is greater than 0, so it's a true. Minus 7 is less than 0, is a 4. So if I say is minus 7 greater than 0, it's going to give me false. That means false means no. Is 3 greater than 0? True. That means yes. Is 9 greater than 0? True. That means yes. So let's play it. Click on start. This is our input. We have our input, so we just have to ask the question, is our input greater than 0? So greater than, then we have the keys, the numerical keyboard. So if I put 0 0, you see, that is the program. Is our input greater than 0? So it's going to give us either true or false. So 3 is greater than 0, it is true. Minus 7 is less than 0. So is it greater than 0? False. It's not greater than 0. No. Is 9 greater than 0? Yes. So that is our program. That is what our program is doing. If I go back and click greater than 0, so you see now, with that simple line of code, we are able to, solve the next this pattern. So let's go to the next one. Let's continue. So we have another new key. We have new keys, true, false. So true, false is the one we're trying to achieve the other time. it's a boolean. Is either is true or it's a false. So it's a boolean. If you don't know what a boolean is like a 1 and 0. So the way we have string, we have integer, we have boolean also. So we have numbers, we have alphabet, we have boolean. So just say we have number 1 to 9 or 0 to 9, we have alphabet 8 A to Z, and we have boolean, which is true or false. So let's continue. So infiltrating the system, you can click to skip. So we have new keys, if, else, return. Now we are getting into the program. It's getting somehow hard a little. So this if, else, return, it's a control flow in a program. We can use it to create a control flow in a program that if 1 equals 1, do this, else do another thing. So if it's like when you are going in a traffic, when you are going on the road and then you hit a traffic light, all you just have to do is look at the traffic light. If the traffic light is green, go, else stay where you are until it turns green. So let's say the traffic light only has two colors, that is red and green. So if the traffic light is green, go, else, that means if it is red, stay. So this return means you can use it to return a value or an output inside the control flow, inside the if or the else. I think we'll get it better as we go. So return 42 if input is greater than 2, otherwise 0. So this is our if. If input is greater than 2, return 42, else return 0. So that is what these keys will be doing for us, control flow. So let's continue. So we see pattern detected. Now we see 1, the output is 1. We see -2, the output is 2. We see 0, the output is 0. So what are we trying to achieve here? So let's look at the title, absolute. So if you're a mathematics student, you should know that an absolute of a minus object is the positive part of it. So let's say the absolute of -1 is going to be 1. The absolute of -2, which we have here, is going to be 2. The absolute of 0 is going to be 0, which is like when you are multiplying a negative object by -1. So let's say -5 times -1 equals 5. But at the same time, you cannot multiply it by a positive number. So that is what an absolute is. An absolute always gives a positive number. A positive number. So you see that when we have -2, -2, it gives us +2. When we have +1, it gives us +1 as a result. So how do we write this code? So let's see. Let's play it. Since we know what the pattern is trying to achieve. So we see close, -2 give us 2. So what do we do here? We have our input, which is -2. If we say if input, so let's use our control flow, because what we are trying to do here is that if that particular input is less than 0, it should give us the positive part of it. But if it is greater than 0 or equals to 0, it should give us that particular number. Just return the particular number. You see, when we are giving 1, it returns 1. But when we are giving -2, it returns 2. So what we are trying to do here is when we have any number less than 0, you will return that number, the positive part of the number. You will multiply it by -1. But when you have any number greater or equals to 0, you will return that number. That is what this pattern is trying to tell us. So let's use our control flow here. So if input is greater than 0, if the input is greater than 0, you can click on the next line. It's going to give you the next line. So all you can do is return the input. You see that out of the 3 we have, 1 has passed. So these are our tests. 1 test is passed. We are left with 2. So let's see the way a way to solve the 2. So we have 57% failed. So let's continue writing the program. So let's go to else. Else return that input. Let's now multiply it. Let's see if we can multiply it. Actually, we don't have multiplication yet. So how do we do it? Because we have to multiply the input times -1. So what other way can we achieve absolute without multiplication minus 1? So we can do negative input. We can do negative input, and you see that our act has passed. So let's view the code. So you see that if input is greater than 0, return input. Else, return negative input. So that is what our code is trying to achieve. You can see that all our tests actually passed. So yeah, hooray! So let's move to the next question. So let me just, yeah. So let's continue to the next question. At this point, let me just stop this video so we can take the next puzzle in the next video. I hope you enjoy it. See you in the next video.